If you like what you see, why don't you think about subscribing? And make sure to check out my channel for videos just like this. What's going on, folks? It's Mr. Bucket List here. And once again, I am back with another one of these complete guides here on the Margaritaville at Sea Paradise. Let's check it out. So for just a quick breakdown of this video, this is going to be a complete guide to everything you need to know about this cruise ship and honestly this cruise line up until this point. Now starting off will be a complete full ship tour of the Margaritaville at Sea Paradise. So basically all the different areas, decks, things like that. I get my commentary, the complete tour. And then after that, it's going to be a food tour. And so it's going to be all different food on the cruise ship. Now I have been on this cruise ship twice, and being that it's not that big, I essentially was able to try everything. So all the main dining room, the specialty dining, even the pizza that they have on offer now. The only thing I did not do was the room service, but it's the same stuff you can find in the buffet. And then after that is going to be a review of the License to Chill package. Now that is the priority VIP package. I did the solo License to Chill, but it pretty much applies to if you get it for multiple people. That's a really good package, so if you're really interested in that, I definitely would recommend watching that part of the video. And then last, I'm going to end off with 2 different excursion reviews. And so again, I've been on this cruise ship twice, so I was able to do 2 different excursions. One is going to be the swim with the pigs. A lot of people are known to go to Margaritaville at Sea and just the Bahamas in general for the swim with pigs. So that's going to be one of them. And then the second one is going to be the open air tram tour. So it basically goes around the city on this little like vehicle that's open air. It's pretty relaxing, so I give my thoughts and my feedback on those 2 excursions. And then last but not least, it's going to be my full documentary. Now that's not going to be included in this video, but I will leave links to both the different reviews of this cruise ship I've done the first time and then the second time at the refurbishment. So if you're curious about Margaritaville at Sea, of course you've seen the clickbait and vlogging videos saying how bad it is, this will be the ultimate video to kind of help you decide if it's for you or not. And then also get you prepared for the Margaritaville Islander that will be coming out next month, and I'll actually be on that sailing as well. So I hope to see you soon. It's Mr. Bucket List. Alrighty, so let's get this tour going. What we're going to do is actually go from the bottom to the top, starting off with deck 5. Now deck 5 is actually the main deck when you pretty much when you get on board. So when you get on the gangway, this is going to be the level you'll be on starting off. Of course, the first thing you're going to see is the dancers, and of course this lovely huge flip-flops. Again, it's a spectacle when you first walk in. It's not as big as other ships that I've been on, obviously, but then again, it's just you hear so much about how small the ship is, but I guarantee you, once you're there, it still feels like any old cruise ship. Like, it definitely has that scale that you only can find on the cruise ship. And I thoroughly enjoy it. And obviously, I mean, this ship is older. I believe this ship is actually older than myself. But either way, it's really nice. And of course, you have your 2 different desks when you first walk on board. So if you need to go to guest services or also excursions. From my experience, I mean, it wasn't really that much of a line, but I'll be honest, as far as when it comes to the information desk, they weren't really helpful. I'll say that. But I was able to get what I needed and be about my way. And then as far as the excursions, so even though they have this desk when you first get on board, they actually do all your excursions and you book everything and you reserve everything in the terminal. So when I end up doing my full honest review, like I always do my solo review, you all will see that. So I honestly had no reason to go there, but it is there if you want to come back, like during the cruise, you want to book something. It's only a 2-day cruise, but if you want to kind of book something last minute, you do have that option. And then they also have some furniture and stuff like that. Again, you all know I wake up early to do these videos. I can show you all everything without people walking in my way. So it was about 5 o'clock in the morning, but again, it's in really nice condition. It's fairly clean. A lot of people like to just rag on this cruise ship, and I mean, it does have issues, but as far as how clean it is and the layout and just, that's no issue. That's not an issue whatsoever, as you all can probably see in this video. Now, the next portion that we're going to go to is the chapel. I have nothing to do with this chapel. I just walked in and kind of walked out. But if this is your religion, if you're someone that believes in this and you need a chapel on board, here you go. Alrighty, so that's pretty much all that there is on the level number 5. There are plenty of elevators, so as you all can see, they have 4. I believe they have 4 on each side. I can't really say that I waited long for an elevator, but there were plenty of times where it was just packed. And I was like, you know what, man, I'm going 2 floors up or 3 floors up. I'm good. So I just walked up the stairs, as you all can see I'm doing now. But again, when you're on a smaller cruise ship, it's not that big of a deal if you're walking up 2 and 3 flights of stairs versus something like Wonder of the Seas where you're potentially walking up 17, 18 decks. This is number 8 right here. And this is almost like, this feels like the main level for the cruise ship for entertainment that's not the pool deck. This actually leads to the Stars on the Water Theater, which I thoroughly enjoyed, especially because I had a little VIP package, and you all will see where we had to sit at during it. But it was nice. It was really cool. Again, it's a bar, it's a theater, just somewhere to hang out and chill. This is the bar area right here. It wasn't bad. It was really nice. You felt really intimate. Even if you sat in the higher seats, it still felt really good and intimate as far as the shows. And then this right here is the actual area. And so as you walk to these like little blue, well, these teal and orange looking chairs, that is the VIP section. Then the burgundy chairs up top, that's actually the standard section. But the theater's not that big. So I mean, either way, you're going to get a good view. But as you all will see in a later clip in a few seconds, sitting in VIP is an experience. And I'll just kind of leave it at that and let you all check it out. Now that we are back, so they do have this piano outside of here. I never actually saw anybody playing on it, and it's crazy because it's like they had this pianist, and I thought he was going to be playing on it, and like I went to the time that it started, and everyone's like crowding up. I was like, why is nobody near the piano? And then he was actually near some, I guess, some synthesizer to the right, so I got a terrible seat, and so I just ended up leaving, but that's there. And then they also have this area, which I actually thoroughly appreciate. I wouldn't say I enjoyed it because I never used it, but I appreciate it. It was this game room, and they actually had quite a few amount of games over here, and a good variety too. Monopoly, Jenga, Trouble, Hungry Hippos, just all the little board games that you're used to playing with your family. This is it. And I was actually a little bit worried when I walked over here because I was like, oh no, I hope this is not a smoking section, because this has that look, that old school look that smoking sections usually have. But that wasn't it. It was just for board games and stuff. Pretty. And then pretty much, I mean, as you all can see, they have all the games in the cabinets. And you just pull them out. There's no charge or anything like that. But you just pull them out. And then basically you can just play. Again, I was on a solo cruise. It's a 2-night cruise. So, I mean, there was really no time to play games for the type of things I do on cruises. But if that's your type of thing, then here it is. This room was nice as well, the conference center. Again, every cruise ship I've been on has had one of these, and I mean, I've never actually been on a cruise, like a business cruise per se, where I'm like with a, I don't know, like an employer or something. But I think it's still cool. Either way, it's just really cool. Like, I would love to potentially have like some type of event that I'm hosting, and we all first like maybe meet up in the conference room and like, I don't know, just maybe I'll answer questions or something like that, and then just kind of just do my usual like cruise experience. It seems classy to me, and so it's just something I would love to do, but I don't know how I would do it where it wouldn't seem like it's like boring or something, if you get what I'm saying. It's cool to have, is all I'm trying to say. Now I will say this. So I mean, previously, and this is kind of off track, but previously when I worked at Universal Studios, they actually did have like conferences and things like that where they rent out the park. And oh man, I mean, if I worked at a job that said, you know what, we're gonna have this retreat on this cruise ship, like I would not mind going to one of these dang conference rooms, because that would be amazing. And then next we have Euphoria. So again, this is more of that main area I was talking about the ship. Just deck 8 in general, just seems like this hit the main area. But I thoroughly enjoyed this area as well. Basically, this is almost equivalent to the atrium in my opinion. This is like a hangout spot. Again, this is 5 a.m. in the morning, so that's why it's dead. But this is like a hangout spot for the ship. And during the nighttime, oh, this place was popping. I'm like, my goodness, like I couldn't find a seat. That's how many people were. People standing against the wall. It was crazy. And like they're like playing games and dancing games and musicians and stuff like that. It was a really good time. I think I will add a little snippet in here so you all can see it. But yeah, I mean, you have this, and then right across the way you actually have a bar as well. And then you had multiple acts that came up to this little stage area and played as well. So it was really cool. I really enjoyed it. Now I will say, I mean, that's the one reason why I don't mind waking up this early in the morning to do these type of videos, because it's just, you get to appreciate the ship even more around this time. I mean, during the day when people are walking by and looking at you weird for recording and just being nosy, it's just not the same. But this is just, it's just a perfect vibe. And then this is what I was talking about. So this is almost low-key before things started. This is like when one of the little performances was going on. But like I said, this is pretty much a hangout spot during the day or the nighttime. And then this is the bar that accompanies it. Again, this is early in the morning, so it's closed. But this was actually open. As soon as we got on board, this bar was actually packed. Next up, we have the MDR, the main dining room. So this is Finn's. Again, I didn't know much about Virgin Voyages. My goodness, yeah, I'm going on Virgin Voyages in like a week, so that's the reason I'm thinking about it. But this is my first time really kind of getting any information about Jimmy Buffett, Margaritaville at Sea, and so that's the main reason why I do these videos. But I really couldn't find much about the food other than pictures, and I will end up doing a whole video on just the food alone. But I couldn't really find a good tour of the dining room either. That's why I want to do this video. I say it to say because this dining room is actually beautiful. Again, it's not grand as far as like the scale and the height of it like Royal Caribbean ships, but it is elegant. Again, this ship is old, y'all. I mean, this ship is literally old. I mean, and for it to still have this condition, I mean, I know they remodeled it here and there, but to me, for the price, I mean, you can get on this cruise ship. If you pick the right day, you can get on this cruise ship for $100. And so, I mean, it's like what you're paying for and what you're getting, in my opinion, is worth it. And I mean, I'll definitely go into more detail with my solo review. So if you all are not familiar with my channel, each and every time I always do an honest solo review. And that's the reason why, is because I can only show you but so much in the tour. But as far as my honest thoughts, I have to give you all the full experience. Just quickly, so that was the main dining room, and then right beside it, they're actually connected, is JWB, the steakhouse. I enjoyed this as well as a part of my VIP package, so I ate breakfast here twice, I ate dinner here once. Beautiful. It looks almost identical. I think they have different chairs, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe they're the same, I don't really know. But again, it's still nice. And then now we are heading up to the next deck, and this is more of the shopping area. So like I said, the area that we're leaving is more of an atrium area. This is more shops, and you have like, I wouldn't really say quick service food, but you have like coffee, and you have the little pizza place. Again, you have, like I said, shopping, things like that. And then you also have the casino, other things as well. But I'll just kind of explain as we walk along. So again, this ship is old, but they have that margarita feel to it. And a lot of people kept asking me, like, did they do enough to update it? How does it feel? And my only complaints actually comes from my original room that I had. You all will see in a bit. Eventually, I did get transferred to a standard room. I just was so tired, and I just didn't feel like recording, so you all won't see that. But my original room was the issue. But before we can get to that, so again, this is the shops and stuff like that. They actually have really late times. The shops didn't open up until like 6 p.m. or something like that. And I mean, at 6 p.m., I'm not thinking about doing these type of videos. I'm eating, I'm drinking, I'm doing stuff. So it just wasn't happening. You have to see the outside of it. But again, it's a nice chill area. I did come up here for the muster drill. I came up here just to do other things. And it was nice. It's a really nice area. I did not try out that coffee shop. So I don't drink coffee. I've never had it. But the VIP package I did have included coffee and also like food and stuff that was up here, which is like the ice cream parlor and stuff like that. And I completely forgot about it, and so I'm pretty upset. And then as far as the pizza place, I did see this, but it was an upcharge, and I had all the other stuff. I was like, you know what, I'm good. But the cool thing is it actually does have that little robot that comes out and delivers the pizza to you, then it goes back to the kitchen. So if you want to see that, come up here, maybe just stand around for a little bit, or maybe get a meal, and your pizza will come out via a robot. And then of course you have your ATM. I highly discourage anybody from using the ATM. Who in the world knows what type of fees they have on it? And even though most banks do reimburse you for the fees, I still wouldn't take that chance. I mean, just go ahead and get the money before you get on the ship. And then of course again you have more shops that were closed. Yep, so 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. That is just strange hours. But anyway, you have different shops, so you can buy shoes, electronics, photos, things like that. They are all here if that's your type of thing, duty free. Next up, we have the casino. Again, you all know I don't gamble. I've never gambled in my life, don't plan on it. But I do thoroughly enjoy walking through the casino just to see all the lights and the action and stuff like that. It's usually pretty nuts. Obviously, again, this is early in the morning, so that's not going on. Everything was closed. But it was still nice to see. This ship actually had a decent sized casino. I mean, go figure, but it was actually pretty nice. A good variety. Good size, and at least from my knowledge, I don't remember it smelling like smoke. I've been on Norwegian Breakaway where the entire ship and the whole middle of the ship smelled like smoke and moldy smoke from that dang casino, but at least on this one, I couldn't smell it. It smelled like that cheap refreshener that like motels use, which isn't the best smell in the world, but it's a lot better than smelling that smoke smell. Next up, we have the Oasis room. So again, this is an area I enjoyed as well. I guess my issue is all the areas I did enjoy, because the cruise was so short, I really only went there for maybe about 20 to 30 minutes. I loved it, had a good time. I left, went somewhere else, and that was just pretty much the end of the cruise. But this area was pretty cool. So at least in my opinion, I believe it's supposed to be like the nightclub for the ship or whatever. And the reason why I enjoyed it so much, as you all can see, one, it's a lot of seats. Two, the view is beautiful. While I was here, we actually saw a ship in the distance, and everybody was staring at it during the nighttime. During the daytime, I'm sure it's nice as well. And then just the vibe. So I mean, it's got a bar, it's got the piano, got the views, different musicians. I was there, and two different acts came up. It was a trio first, and then a DJ that had like the dance club atmosphere and all that stuff. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So if you want like a laid back club type atmosphere that changes, it's not just current music, it's like old school disco. It's just, depending on the hour, it's different music. This is the place to go. 06. Let's do it. This door's tough. Now I will tell you all, when I first walked in here, I just bust out laughing. I'm not even mad about it. Why on earth do they give me bunk beds like I'm a child? I'm blown away. I mean, it's so cool because you got a lot of space, even though it's like really thin, as you all can see. But what is going on? Like, imagine if I was here with my wife or my girlfriend, whoever. Oh man, it's just hilarious. So let me start here. I have bunk beds. I'm gonna ask if I can get it switched around. It doesn't look like it, but we'll see. But currently, right now, I do have two different bunk beds. I'm probably gonna sleep on the bottom because I want to be safe. Let's see, down here, at least you got a cheap little light. But that's that, and then you got some plugs right here, which is actually pretty convenient, I'm not gonna lie. You got a USB plug and then a light switch. Okay, and there's some other stuff down there. But this is the bunk bed. This tour is actually gonna be pretty quick because there's not much to it. You got a light up here, and then you got another light up there as well, a reading light. And then right here, you have a little stool, and so most likely if I do my computer, I'm either going to sit using that or sit over there, which I'll show in a bit. It comes with this little stool, and you have a ladder to get up to the top bunk. Let's keep rolling. So as you can see, the design is different. It's cool. It's nice. And then of course you got a TV. It's a Samsung, good quality. It looks like it's 4K resolution, at least from the size of it. So not bad for the TV. And then you do have water. So $4.95 per bottle, which isn't terrible for that type of price. And then you got your cup of ice and stuff. And then you have a second stool. And right here I can set up my laptop as long as there's a plug, which there is right here. So laptop, plugs, all that stuff right here. Good to go. I got this as soon as I got on board, so I already have my little blender, which is great. And then let's keep on going. So for the storage space, you have a safe. Then you have some different life preservers. You have this cubby right here. You got some different drawers. So 4 of those, and then you got cubbies down there as well. Again, you all, this is a 2-night cruise. I mean, if you can't find enough space, oh, there we go. That does it all. That makes up for the stupid bunk beds. They got the bathrobe, y'all. If you know about my channel, you know I love my bathrobes, and absolutely, I am wearing this to the spa tomorrow. It comes with 2 different bathrobes. And then over there, let's see what that is. So even more storage space. So again, I don't need all this because it's just me and this is a 2-nighter. But 4 more drawers right here. And main switch. So yeah, that turns the light off. Cool. And you got hangers, you got shelf space up here. You got an old school thermostat, but at least you got one right here. So again, this ship is probably older than myself. It's not the same age as me. But it's not bad for the usual price. Now this is Thanksgiving, so it's a little bit more expensive, but it's still not too bad. And then this is the bathroom. I'm trying to show myself here. Standard shower, circle shower, not bad. It's actually about the same size as you would see in a solo cabin on NCL, so I'm really surprised that they expect 2 people to be in here, but it's not bad for me. Fun looking design. You got your standard toilet, and then you got your sink and all that stuff. And I'm trying to keep myself out the camera so you can't see me. But good space, nice and clean. It's newer looking. It's not like fresh new, but it's, again, for this ship's age, it's not bad at all. And then you got a nice little picture. So that's pretty much it. Again, this is Margaritaville. I'll give you all one last pan. What you see is what you get. It's Mr. Bucket List. Peace out. Alright folks, so this is something I definitely want to do for this room. This is extremely important, is the outlets. Let me show you what we got. We got one right here, that's a standard US port. Got a 220 voltage, I can't really use that one. Over here, you got one USB port. These are nothing that I'm aware of. And that's it. That's all you have in this room, y'all. It's just that one USB port and then that one down there. And then I'm naked right now, so hopefully I don't get in the camera, but that's the lights. That's not a port. There are no ports up there. This is a port that only works for the hot iron, for the blow dryer. And here we are at deck 10. So this is where the buffet is located, and also the bar, the famous bar where you can get basically the Margaritaville restaurant type food at. I thoroughly enjoyed the buffet. I was really surprised. I mean, it wasn't the biggest buffet, obviously, but in my opinion, the quality of the food, top notch. For this type of cruise and the price you're paying to get on this thing, it was actually really good. I was really surprised, or maybe because I'm on a diet and I've been on a diet for about a month now and I was just starving. But either way, I had no complaints. I didn't get sick. The food quality was good for a buffet, a good variety. Right here is the first part, and then you can go into the back and see there's a second part to it as well. Again, this is before the morning time it got going, so they're kind of setting up breakfast and stuff like that. But I liked it. Like the colors, it was never hard to find a seat. It was never crazy. I mean, some buffets you go to on a cruise ship, and one of my friends, she's actually on a cruise ship right now, she calls them vultures and animals because, you know, people knock you over just to get some food at a buffet with unlimited food. And Yeah, it's just how it is. And so that I just did not experience it on this cruise ship. I don't know if I went at the wrong time or what, but it just wasn't an issue. And again, I know I keep talking about the food, you all. I promise you all there will be another video that'll be out, or potentially by the time you watch this video, it'll already be out. But I will make a separate video just focused on the food, so you can watch that as well. Once I do, I'll link it in the description for you. Now, this is the 5 o'clock somewhere bar. Again, I didn't actually eat at this bar. I did see the food. They had some amazing wings, and I was like, ugh. Like, I love wings, but I just couldn't. I was like, you know what, man? I paid all this. Like, I paid a lot for this cruise, y'all. Like, I upgraded it to the max outside of my room, and yeah. I mean, what most people paid, I probably paid about 3 times what they paid. And I'm a solo cruiser, so I got charged double anyway. But either way, when I was there, I was like, you know what? I've spent enough money. I'm not really trying to spend extra money on food when I don't need to. But the food did look appetizing, and then the views as well. I mean, just come to the back of the ship, whether it's day or night, it's beautiful. So if you're not going crazy overboard with pre-spending before you get on this cruise, I would highly recommend coming here and getting some wings. This one guy had probably about 6 different trays that he took back to his room because they were that good. Now we are on the pool deck, deck 11 and 12. Now I just loved the atmosphere on this pool. So right now, this was right after we were about to leave the port in Freeport, Bahamas. So it wasn't too crazy because most people were either still in the port, or they were in the room changing, or whatever the case. They just weren't on the pool deck. It had a fun atmosphere during the day when there were actually activities going on. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. As far as just the vibe and the views and everything like that, it was just a really good time. So it's not the biggest pool deck, obviously. It's not the newest look. It's not the most high functioning, high quality, whatever. It's a pool deck. You got your views. You got plenty of seating. I never had an issue finding seats. The pool towel guy is down the way where you can go and get your pool towels and easily check in and out. As you all can see right here, they actually have showers. So you can basically, if you need to, take a shower before you get in the pool. I mean, there's so many different things about this pool deck. It's just a pool deck. It's a cruise pool deck. It has everything you need. It's functional, and I hate to use that word for a pool deck, but it's everything you need. It's not extravagant at all. It's just there. And I do appreciate the loungers. So they actually have a lot of these little loungers that I'm sitting on right now, and they work great. They're really good, and they're free. You don't have to pay extra, and they're usually readily available. I mean, people do put their towels there, which they shouldn't do that. But for the most part, it's pretty easy to get one if you desire, as you can see right here. And then, like I was mentioning, as far as getting the pool towels, this is the guy right here. Thankfully, at least as far as my knowledge, they can get charged for losing any towels or anything like that. You just sign your name, you tell them how many towels you want, and you just bring it back. End of story. And then this is the big one. So the reason why I say that is I actually told the people here in the spa that I was actually a YouTuber, so they gave me like a full professional tour. And then at the very end of it, they hit me with a caveat and said, well, I don't want to have my face in the video, and I don't want you to see my name and stuff like that, which I don't mind. People are camera shy, but I had to do a lot of just editing to make sure this young lady's face didn't get on board, well, in the video. And I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about the lady that's going to be walking me through. So check it out. Now, being that this nice lady asked me not to show her face or have her voice in the video, that's the reason why I'm kind of just going to give you all just some background and just kind of talk over what she's saying. She gave a really thorough tour, and I'm kind of sad that she didn't want to be in it because she can explain things a lot better than I can. But basically, this spa, again, for the size of this ship, the age of this ship, the spa was pretty great. This is also my first time ever receiving any type of professional massage, and so the reason why is because I was figured, you know what? I mean, the spa was already included in my little package I got. If you all aren't familiar, I actually got the solo license to chill package, and I'll do a review on that shortly as well. But that included an actual massage, and so I was like, you know what? I usually would never buy something like that on my own, but I did. And then once I got there, they asked me if I wanted to upgrade, and I said, you know what? I mean, I didn't really have to pay extra for the spa, so I might as well get the upgrade. And Oh my goodness. I mean, so the full body massage, it came with like these little hot stones and little rags and stuff like that. It was amazing. The only thing I did not like, even though I guess it's kind of a good thing, was as you all can see in this current room, you have like views and stuff. So when I got my massage, we were actually ported in Freeport, Bahamas, and it was beautiful outside. But they actually took me into one of those little rooms where it didn't have any windows and stuff like that. So that's the only thing I can say is kind of I wouldn't say a negative, but I just wish it was a little bit better. Was have a nice view. But the cool thing about this spa is it's cool, but also unique is this spa is actually connected, as you all can see, to the gym. So I was kind of thinking, like, wait, isn't that kind of weird? Like you in the gym and you're like grunting and all that stuff, but you step right over to the spa, and I mean, it's nice and quiet and relaxing. It kind of threw me off, but at the same time, it makes sense. I mean, after you go to a gym and have a good workout, you want to relax and kind of just kick back and shower and stuff. And it's all right there. So I mean, it's brilliant. It's just not used to it being so close. I mean, usually with other ships, because they're so larger, so much bigger. I mean, the spa is usually like in a completely different room on the other side of the ship, and it was unique, is what I'm trying to say. But this is it. This is the spa. Now we are going to head to the gym. As you all can see, the hours for from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. This gym surprised me as well. Like I said, this ship is old, y'all, and just for it to have all of this, I mean, it's like they updated and upgraded everything that actually mattered outside of that room. Everything else was like good. I mean, like I said, the gym is nice. I mean, you can tell the equipment's recent. The spa, for the most part, is like I said, you can tell for the most part, is recent. Yeah, some of the beds look a little bit older, but everything is just, again, this value for what you're getting is just is phenomenal if you catch it on the right day. And then, of course, like any spa, you do have your steam room. You have a sauna. Um, you have like little spa services, so like manicures, pedicures, things like that. Again, like I said, I don't want to kind of go too in depth with it. She was really nice. Like I said, she gave me a full tour, and so I just want to make sure I use the footage that she gave me. But I mean, what you expect out of a spa is going to be here. Just that simple. Like I was saying earlier, so these are the stones that I was mentioning and the rags and all that stuff. And honestly, this is the reason why I upgraded it. So when she was explaining it to me and how good it would feel and stuff like that, I was like, you know what, I'll go ahead and try it out. And I'm glad I did. It was definitely worth it. And again, like I was saying, so this is just another portion of the actual salon slash spa area. And she was letting me know that a lot of this stuff is going to be updated and things like that. And so she recommended that I come back again on the cruise. I believe she said July of 2023, I believe. But yeah, so you can definitely tell it's a work in progress. But again, it's not bad for the current price. I mean, yes, I have been on MSC. MSC is cheap as well, and MSC everything is new. I mean, so it's just not really comparison. But as far as getting a short weekend cruise, it's very hard to find those. And this is a constant 2-day cruise over and over and over again. So if that's what you're looking for, I mean, this is definitely for you. And then here we are back at the pool deck. right here we have the adults only area, which again I thoroughly enjoyed, not only because it was adults only, but this is where the hot tubs are located. And I thoroughly enjoyed the hot tubs at night. But yeah, so I mean, you have a bar, you have a pool, you have 2 hot tubs, you have a good view. This is the back of the ship, like most adult only areas, and I liked it. I really liked it a lot. It was really cool. Now I will say this: so there was a time period, like when we first boarded, when there were some kids and they were just running around acting stupid. I'm just like, what is going on here? But for the most part, they do enforce the adults only vibe, which is really nice and really refreshing to see. These are the hot tub areas I was mentioning. So again, it was very nice. I mean, I just love how the colors change. So this is not me doing any type of editing or anything like that. This is actual color rotation in this pool, and it actually changed quite frequently. If I'm not mistaken, it was like maybe every 15-30 seconds. But it was cool. So I guess they have like some little lights inside the pools, and that's how they do that. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. And then now we are heading up to one of the last areas on the ship before I end this video. This is actually the hangout area. So what that basically means is it's like for like almost for kids. It's like games and stuff like that. But I mean, if you're an adult and you want to play pool or whatever, it's up here. I didn't spend much time up here outside of doing this tour for you all, but it was nice. It was just really good variety, and it actually takes like just standard like cash and quarters and stuff like that. So none of that weird token system that other cruise ships usually have. And they had some good games. Now they had some weird games I've never seen before, like the Walking Dead crossbow crap. But as you all can see, pool tables, things like that. It was a really good time. So again, I enjoyed this cruise. The full tour is, well, excuse me, the full honest review is coming up. My solo experience that I'm known for, at least on YouTube. I hope you all enjoy that. Again, my channel is struggling, so if you all would like me to continue to make content like this, please do whatever you can to support the channel, whatever that means to you. I mean, if you want to donate, if you want to share, whatever you want to do, it just means to me that you are watching and you enjoy what I do. It's me, MrBucketlist here. I hope you all have a good evening, a good night, a good morning, and I'll see you soon. Peace out. Now, exactly what is this license to chill package? Well, essentially, it's a VIP package, something you can buy. With larger cruise lines, you can usually get a VIP package through a couple of ways, usually through either loyalty or you can just outright buy it like I do in Royal Caribbean. But on this cruise line, because they have such short itineraries and they're a newer cruise line, the best way to get any type of VIP service is just go ahead and buy it. And so they have this, the license to chill package. Now it does come in two different sets. You can either buy the solo license to chill, like if you're a solo cruiser like I was on my cruise, or if you're going as a couple, you can have basically the license to chill package, which includes two different people. Now, one thing I do want to note is when I bought my solo license to chill package, and this is back in November of 2022, at the time period it was actually $169, and they've recently made some updates where it costs a little bit more. Now it's at $199 for one person, and then it's at $399 for a couple. But they did add some added features in there, and they just kind of changed things around a little bit. So I'll definitely make sure to go ahead and point those things out. But essentially, I mean, it's still the same package. It's just two different benefits that were just kind of adjusted in a way. Let's get to that. Now, the two main things that were adjusted, at least from the old versions to what they have now, is one, the solo license to chill package includes 5 drinks. And then if you have the double or the standard license to chill, it includes 10 drinks, so 5 per person. The second major change is how the massage and the spa works. So previously with the package I had, it was a set 25 minutes for a full body massage. If you wanted to upgrade, you could, but you didn't have to pay anything additional past that. I did end up upgrading. It cost me like an additional $30, but it was worth it. With this current one, now you actually have a credit. So for solos like myself, it'll be a $75 credit. And then for doubles, it's a $150 credit, so $150. The only thing about that is I looked at some of the prices for the actual massages and stuff like that. They're like $100, $150, $175, $200. So essentially, you probably will be paying out of pocket if you want a little bit more. But again, I did that myself as well. So it's not a big deal, but that is a noticeable change in my opinion. Outside of that, everything else pretty much stays the same. So let's get into my review and how I use my benefits. So the first thing is the express check-in at the terminal. This was amazing. I mean, when you first walk up, you see a huge sign that says express check-in. You really don't have to show much of anything. And ironically, when you go to that desk, that is the only time you have to show paperwork. Outside of that, when you get into the terminal, you usually have to walk up to a little window and show your passport and all that stuff. Nope. With the express check-in with the Margaritaville at Sea license to chill package, none of that happens. Not only that, but they also personally walk you through like a little back way to an elevator, and you go into the terminal. The first one's in the terminal. They take your bags for you. You can either decide to have your bags with you the entire time going onto the ship, or you can just have them delivered to your room. Either way, you get to watch where your bags go, which I really appreciate. Now, of course, since you're one of the first people in the terminal, that means you can go ahead and knock everything out. Again, this is something I talked about in my review of the documentary I did, but everything you book is in the terminal, which is a first for me, and which I really appreciate. It's just so much easier to get everything done before you're actually on the ship instead of running around on the ship when you're there. So again, if you have the license to chill package, it just makes this process a lot easier and a lot simpler. So your dining reservations for the steakhouse, for the main dining room, for the massage, for the spa, all that is right here in the terminal. And because you have the license to chill package, you'll be the first one to do it. Now you also have this VIP area, and again, I really appreciate this as well. It was just really nice because, as you all know, cruise ship terminals, they get packed. And I mean, especially for a terminal like this where it's not really that big, but it's a lot of people. I mean, by the end of everything, it was standing room only. But because of this license to chill package, we had our own little sectioned off area. We had nice, comfortable chairs. We had refreshments. We had drinks. It was cool. It was a really nice time just to be back there. And then the ambassador came and she introduced herself. She told us how everything went. It was perfect. So again, this is a really good benefit if you don't like that tight, cramped space like you usually feel in the terminal. And then moving on to some of the gifts once you actually do get on the ship. Inside your room, you're going to have things like a bottle of wine, a fruit basket, chocolate covered strawberries, a bathrobe, all these little gifts inside there just to kind of make your, like I said, your experience more enhanced. And so again, something I really appreciated. This package also does include the internet. So I mean, a lot of people always want to have connection all the time. And I mean, of course, if you're out at sea, unless you have some type of internet package, your phone is just not going to work. This internet was great. I was really surprised. I mean, you all know the ship is pretty old. And so for this old ship to have decent internet, I was thoroughly impressed. I never had any issues. I was even streaming a couple of days. I got on Instagram and did some streaming while I was on the cruise ship. No issues whatsoever. So again, if you're someone that needs the internet, it is included in this package. The package also includes a wine tasting event, and so during our event, it was like cheeses, wine, things like that. I think altogether they had us try 6 different wines, and I mean, these are like glasses. It wasn't little shot glasses. This was actual like cups full of wine. And so, I mean, I'm not a huge drinker. I didn't finish, honestly, any of them, but either way, if you want some free alcohol or included alcohol, this is the way to go. You'll definitely be feeling something once you leave this event. And then not only was the wine good, but the food as well. So if you all have seen my food video, you already know I thoroughly enjoyed my meals in both the steakhouse and the MDR. And this is also thanks to that package. And so for the MDR, the main dining room, your seat is already ready. So it really doesn't matter what time you come. Either way, you're going to have a reserved table, which again, I appreciate it. And then when it comes to the steakhouse, you can go there twice for breakfast and then once for dinner. Now, when you go there for breakfast, it doesn't include the wine, the sparkling wine breakfast. So basically, bottomless drinks. They will load you up as soon as they find out you have that package, or if you tell them you're a YouTuber, they will hook you up like they did me. So just kind of be aware of that. You can easily get trashed in the morning if that's your thing. And then as far as the steakhouse, that was really good as well. They also pass around alcohol, and I have to pay additional for it, but they will walk around with shots and things like that as well. So altogether, it's really cool to have that included in this package. And then going back to the spa, so again, that was included with mine. Now it is that credit. Either way, this is my first time getting a massage on a cruise ship, and it got me hooked. I did a full tour with the manager as well. So again, if you all haven't seen that video, check it out. The spa is currently being updated like majority of the ships. I mean, it does have some work to be done. But either way, I mean, you can request to have a room where you're facing like the ocean while getting a massage, or you can have an all darked out room like I had. Either way, it's amazing. Now, this one right here was a big one for me. Oh my goodness. So when it comes to the shows, you all know, well, if you haven't watched my channel, you probably don't know, but I love being front seat at the shows, concerts, cruise ship shows, anything. I love being in the VIP section. I always either come early or I just pay extra for it, like on this cruise. And this had to be the best experience I've ever had because they actually included us in the show. So I mean, not only are you sitting right there, they come and they're singing right at your table and just kind of just making jokes. It's cool. But then after that, they have a conga line that goes all the way around to the theme, Margaritaville, the song by Jimmy Buffett. It was just amazing. So I mean, you have a conga line, you're sitting VIP, you're right there in the action. Again, this is just, it was amazing. Just a really good time. And then finally, this is what made it worth it for me. I would have paid double for it if I had known how much this is going to help out. So one thing about Margaritaville at sea is, depending on what day you go, you may or may not get off the ship within about, I would say about 30 to 45 minutes to maybe about 3 to 4 hours. It just is really up to the port authorities and how they're feeling. On my cruise, it was a huge line to get off the cruise ship, and it was just bad. People were arguing. It was a mess. And so because of this package, I had no idea that it also meant they went around customs as well. But this package got me off of the ship when everyone else that was like basically who didn't have the package, it took them about 3.5 hours to get off the cruise ship. And so again, if you're someone that's pressed for time, and for me, ironically, this is the one time I actually was pressed for time. I was like, I gotta get off this ship and get home. And I was able to get off. But I mean, a lot of people were stuck on in that line because of the port authorities not clearing the ship for them to get off. Well, at least for that section to get off. I don't know what was going on, but somehow we were able to get around the port authority. And she held up the sign. The lady, the cruise ambassador, Anna, held up the sign and said, look, we're coming through no matter what. They bought this package. They got to get off. And so, again, that's what made it worth it for me. It's one thing, just, I don't know, just being in a line, a crowd of people, that's not what you pay VIP for. And that truly made it worth it for me. So, again, this package was phenomenal. The only thing that was not included in mine was the drinks, of course, but I'm not a big drinker. Like I said, that was fine with me. But if you are a drinker, I can recommend it. If you're not a big drinker, I can still recommend it. It's so much value that gets added to this cruise with this package. I can highly recommend it. Okay, anyway, so this is going to be a room tour of 741 on Margaritaville at Sea Paradise, Ocean View Room. Let's check it out. So yes, I do have some balloons. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but as you can see, this room is nice and clean. Let's start from the top. So right here, you have your AC switch and stuff right here. So just turn it up and down as you please. Right here it says main switch. I remember someone saying that AC didn't work, and the reason why is they hit that button. Leave that button alone, don't hit it. That controls everything in the room, all the power and stuff. Here's your hangers, your closet. Now again, this is a solo cruise. Not only that, but it's a 2-night cruise, so you shouldn't be using much closet space, but if you do, here you go. 2 sides to the closet. Oh, and look at that. We got some bathrobes. Wow, 2 of them. And some bedroom shoes, so yes. And then right here you have your life preserver, you have your safe, your hair dryer, Bible, all that stuff right here. And then you also have a bottle of wine. Now this is not included. This does have a fee of $29 and bottles of water as well. Not bad. And then you also have your mini fridge. It's a little chill, not too chill. It's okay. And then on the right side you have your bathroom. That's that sliding door. Okay. So as you can see, the bathroom is a little bit older, but it's still clean. That's all that matters. Hello. Usually don't like showing myself. You have your different things right there. A lot of people always ask, like, should I bring my own? I usually recommend to bring your own, but just in case you forget, they got that there. Towels. And then they do have this circular shower. Now, in my opinion, of course, I would love to have a glass door, but either way, it's fine. That's how the water drains out down there. So the bathroom, I mean, it is what it is. It's a little bit older. Okay. Now this is a flashback to my previous room that I had on Margaritaville at Sea. The same ship but a different time period. This was before the big refurbishment. A lot of people love to bash this cruise line, especially vloggers, to kind of get like views and clickbait and just online clout. But what they do is they use the previous footage of what the ship looked like before the big refurbishment. So it's really not fair to the actual cruise line itself. But I did want to throw that in there because I did actually have one of these rooms. Obviously things have changed. Back to the tour. Now, as far as your desk area, if you want to like bring a computer and work or something like that, that's right here. It's also got a mirror as well. It's no official seat, but it is a stool. So again, it's not bad. This is a short cruise, so it's only but so much you're going to do here. One thing I do have to commend this room compared to my last one that was like a bunk bedroom is the amount of outlets. So here's one right here. You have a standard outlet that you can use, and then you also have USB and then Type-C as well. So you got those 3 if you have the right type of adapter for it. And then right here you got plugs, and so there's another plug right there as well. And then so there's already right there technically what, about 5 different outlets right there. And if you look over there, over the wall, they have one over there, well, 2 over there as well. One's a USB and one's a standard outlet. So pretty cool. Again, you also have pictures and just nice view of everything. You have this right here, controls the light. Have a little stool right there if you want to like put drinks beside the bed or something. And then also your phone. And then again, as you walk and see, so they actually hooked my room up with some balloons. This looks extremely nice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And it says welcome. And if you didn't know, this is from Anna Banana.
Anna Banana, the only cruise ambassador on board Margaritaville at Sea. Okay, hello there.
She is the best. Honestly, any cruise line would be lucky to have her, and so Margaritaville at Sea did a great job having her. She is phenomenal. I don't think I know anybody that has the reputation as good as Anna Banana on any cruise ship that's not a cruise director. So shout out to her. She is basically the VIP concierge, so she takes care of everybody with Express Pass, well, People Express, License to Chill, stuff like that, and VIP, of course. And then here is the bed. Now, again, I can kind of tell that this is a double bed that's put together. You can always see that indentation right here. But either way, it's still nice. And as you can see right in between, it actually has the light switches, so that's really cool. And then this is gonna be the ocean view room. So you get a porthole, it's not necessarily a balcony. Again, this is a 2-night cruise. Barely gonna be on the ship for more than a few hours at a time because it's one port and then that's it. So it's not bad. And then nothing but a breeze. And your TV. And so I always like to kind of guess the size of the TV. I would say it's probably like either 32 or 40-inch TV. But that is it. As far as a quick breakdown for this video, it is going to include a couple of different things. So one is almost going to be like a tour. So basically how I got from point A to point B to point C. It's going to show that process, and during that process, I'm going to kind of explain how things are going. And then of course I'm going to give some tips, tricks, things like that. And then once it comes to the closing, I'm going to give my final review. So almost just kind of the entire process and my review about it and my thoughts after it's actually done. So I hope this video is really helpful. If you like the video, please give it a share, give it a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you soon. Alright, so once you get off the ship, the way you actually get there to the swimming with pigs at the little beach that they have, you have to ride this tour bus. So for my cruise, they actually had 2 different tour buses, and they both went to the same place, so it doesn't really matter which one you get on. But that tour bus does take about a 25 to 30 minute drive over to the actual area where the pigs are at. So it is like almost like a nice little tour that includes like a scenic tour as well. Now I had to put that in air quotes because the areas that you go through are not necessarily for tourists. It's more neighborhoods and stuff like that. And at least the area that we went to was really damaged by hurricanes and things like that. So you kind of get to see exactly what people are living like over there. And it's kind of sad, but at the same time, it is kind of refreshing to kind of get a different side of the Bahamas versus like I always see in Nassau and the Atlantis and all that stuff. Like, no, you actually get to see the real deal Bahamas. Now, speaking of the bus ride, a quick tip is you want to get off of the bus as soon as possible. So, I mean, if you need to like sit in the front of the bus or maybe, I don't know, just whatever you can do to get off the bus as soon as possible. And the reason why I say that is depending on which order you get off the bus, that's what color wristband you're going to get. They're going to basically have you in different groups. Now, as far as that's going to come into play later, but trust me, you want to get at least the first or second group because if you're in one of the later groups, it's not going to be that fun of an experience, I promise. Now, once you actually get to the site and once you get your wristband as far as that allows you to swim with the pigs, so you get 2 wristbands, one to get on the bus and one to swim with the pigs. Everyone's going to get the same 2 wristbands, it's just different colors on, like I said, which order you get off the bus. Once you get there, there is like a little shop area so you can buy like little like souvenirs and things like that. And then right around the corner is the bar/restaurant. So it does take cash, it does take cards, it does take US dollar at the moment. And it's like I said, it's cool. It's pretty cool. I went there and got a drink. Unfortunately, I tried to get some food later on. They had ran out of it. So again, if you're going there to eat, you definitely want to go ahead and get that as soon as you can because they will run out. As far as the drink, they kept it coming. Everything is something you have to pay for yourself. So none of this is included. But either way, it was sufficient if you want to get some food while you're out there. And then the beach area, it was very small. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty small. And it's not the best looking beach out there again. So I mean, this is more about being with those pigs. But the beach itself, it wasn't my favorite, but it was okay. Now it's time to get ready to swim with the pigs. And so like I was saying earlier, basically the quicker you get off the bus, the better wristband you're gonna get, and they're gonna put you in groups, either 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 and 5, depending on how many people are on the cruise ship. The earlier groups are better, and the reason why I say that is, and I'll show you in a little bit, is when you go in the early groups, the pigs are just, they're happy, they're excited, they're hungry, they're ready to go. They actually are like excited to meet you. But when you go in the later groups, like maybe group 3, 4, or 5, they are like struggling to get out there because they've done this so many times where they're really not that excited, they're not really hungry, and it's really noticeable. So if you want calm pigs, then potentially get a later group, but if you want the active, excited pigs, you want to go as early as possible. So get off the bus as quick as you can and get the whatever wristband to get for the first and second groups. Now, once your group is called, you will line up and kind of have this guy. He was really cool. He sounded really serious, but he was a jokester.
Seeing that we're going in the water, I don't want to hear anybody complaining about the water's cold, this, that, or the other. Because we're not leaving the area until we...
He'll have you line up. He pretty much gives you all the like directions and stuff and the rules as far as what you need to do with the pigs. Tells you the do and do nots and things like that. Really informational. He gets everybody at the same time. He makes sure that everyone's paying attention and listens as well. So it's not bad. So after you wrap up the instruction with the sergeant, the next thing he does is he points everyone to go out into the sandbar. So you pretty much go out into the ocean. There's a nice little sandbar, and he kind of gives you all some like sticks. So you get sticks, and he has like little apple slices. Now, even though those little wooden sticks, those things are pretty sharp. So don't point your finger on there because it will hurt. But you pretty much take the apple slices, just stab it on the stick, and then after that, the sergeant rings a little bell, and you just kind of sit there in anticipation, and then finally that's when the pigs start coming out.
Here they come.
The cool part is you can kind of get as many apples as you want. So what I recommend, this is one of my tips, is just get a bunch of apples. Don't put it in your pocket because they'll try to bite your pocket. But just get a bunch of apples, and then if you can, find a little pig that's like on to the side by himself outside of the crowd. And just keep feeding him apples, and then maybe get one of the guys to bring the apple tray over so you can stay in your own little area without a bunch of people being around. Eventually that's what I did. It was a really good time. Another tip as well is you want to make sure that you have a lot of the stick basically pointing out, and keep your fingers like closed in like it's a fist, because if you don't, they will bite your fingers. I didn't get bit, but apparently a little kid got bit when we were there, so be careful. So after you're done feeding the pigs, you all pretty much walk back as a big group. The pigs are there with you as well. It's pretty cool. And they're trained just basically walk in and walk out. So it's just really cool to see them kind of walk in a straight line back to the barn area. But you walk back there, and this is actually the second part of the pig interaction that I didn't know about until I actually got on the island. But the second part is basically interact and take pictures with the baby pigs, so the little piglets.
Not really. Okay. Now, hold the pig. Come on. Who's taking a picture?
Can somebody record?
Somebody's got it, yeah.
Now, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but the guy actually gave me the pig first. And I'm like, man, I'm trying to record this. And so I had to ask some random kid to record me. But again, this is one of those times where you want to get a pig and then kind of just walk off to the side so you can get your own pictures and you'll be set. Now, another good thing about this excursion is they make sure that every single person gets the time to feed pigs, to get pictures. They make sure everyone's taken care of before they bring the pigs back in. So a lot of people sometimes they go to excursions like this and then end up getting looked over or not enough free time and stuff like that. No, just let the guys know, like, hey, I haven't had any free time to myself with the pigs. I want to take a pig up to the side. They'll hook you up and do it for you. So they're really good on customer service here. And that is pretty much the end of the excursion. So as you all can see, this is one of the last groups going, and the pigs were so tired and they were walking so slow. I'm like, man, this is terrible. So again, unless you want that type of activity where the pigs really aren't doing much, then I would recommend you go in the later groups. But if you want active pigs and getting good shots and stuff like that, try to get at least group 1 or group 2. Alrighty, so as far as my rating, I would say this is definitely a must do. Now, swimming with pigs, obviously we didn't actually swim. I wouldn't want to get in that water because they were taking a dump a lot of times. But outside of that, it was still a really good experience. It was fun. It felt like a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Yes, these are pigs, but they were almost domesticated in a way where they were like almost like dogs. It was just a really good time. So if you love animals, if you love water, if you love doing new stuff, I can highly recommend it. All ages were there. There was little kids, there were grown adults, there were grandmas. I mean, everyone of all ages was there. So I think you all have a really good time. I was a solo. Solos were there as well. Families were there. Either way, it's a really good time. So I strongly recommend it on this cruise line. So when it comes to any short excursion review that I do, the main thing that prompts me to want to do it is basically when I try to search for it myself, if I can't find a high quality review of it, then I'm like, you know what, if I go ahead and do it, I'll go ahead and make one. And so that's what this video is all about. With that said, I will be giving you all a full breakdown and walkthrough of the excursion itself. Just kind of some tips and some expectations, and then my final thoughts at the very end. So I hope you all find this enjoyable and also informational. Now, when it comes to this tour is actually $69.99 for adults and $59.99 for children. And this takes place on Margaritaville at Sea Paradise, so not the Islander that may be coming out after this video gets launched. This will be in Freeport, Bahamas. Now, as far as the length of the tour and the time of the tour, so I believe they have 2 different time slots. Ours was actually early in the morning, so we got off the ship and on the tram by like 10 a.m. And then they had a second one as well. We were actually on the green tram and they had a blue tram as well. It's 2 different drivers. I'll show them right here. They're both very nice gentlemen. Say what's going on.
Hey, my friends, Bar Smith here. Good to see you, tour guide with the open air tram.
The guy with his glasses on, his name is Nava. He was actually our tour operator.
Start our tour with a toast.
Okay.
With a toast of the Bahamas.
Cool. And then the guy that was pouring this drink right here, his name is Mark. He was the other tour operator, and he was really nice as well. They were both really friendly. They know a lot about the island, and they were really cool to talk to. Now let's get to the walkthrough of this excursion. So again, you wake up around 10 or maybe 12, depending on your tour time. and then you head down to the actual port, and then you head down to the almost like a shuttle van area. And so you get in your shuttle van. I talked to Navar about this, and he basically said because the van itself is faster than the tram, he added this portion in recently. But you get into the actual van, and then you drive to the almost the market square, the market that's here in Freeport, Bahamas. Now, once you make it to this marketplace, you can stop by and maybe get a quick drink or something like that, just depending on the time period and what day of the week it is. You can also run to the bathroom, just any necessary errands before you take the tram tour itself. And then after that, you do board the tram. Now, there isn't any assigned seatings or anything like that. And it's really comfortable. It's like just an open air tram. If it's raining or bad weather, they do have like these little covers that you can pull down. Thankfully, when we were there, it was just cloudy, but it was still really warm. So it was a nice breeze on the tram. Now, when it comes to the tram, this isn't all electric tram. It is environment friendly, and this is one of these narrated tours. And so the entire time while we're driving there, my tour operator was giving us just different details about the tram, about the area, about the locations that we were going to, things like that. So that was pretty cool. Now, one of the first places that we stopped at was this hotel, and at this hotel, it actually included one of the lighthouses. Now, we only spent maybe about, I would say no more than maybe 2 to 3 minutes here, but it was still cool to see a lighthouse. If you want to come here and get some pictures, do your thing. Then after we left the lighthouse, the next area that we went to was like this beach area. So that was almost like a 20-minute drive from where the lighthouse was. But it was pretty cool to see. Like, so you just kind of drive to the beach and then you drive back, and on the way again, our tour operator was just kind of explaining what we were seeing, things like that. He told us about this castle that we were able to see that was in the distance. It's pretty cool. I didn't know that was even on the island, but apparently that was like one of the islands where one of the kings or something like that lived at. And he gave us all the history behind it, but it was cool to see this castle.
Yes. Grand Baham is in a beautiful location, but we're also in a hurricane zone.
Now, there was actually a few other stops that we had, but it was not included in the tram because the tram itself isn't that speedy, and so we just kind of took our little van. But we actually stopped at 2 different markets. Now, the first market that we went to, I'll get back to that one in a little bit, but the second one we went to, he basically asked us, like, hey, do you all want to stop at this one? It's a little bit smaller, but it's cool to stop at, and everyone was pretty much like, no, we're tired, so we didn't do that. And then we also went to this lighthouse. Now, this one we didn't stop at, but it was actually the smallest lighthouse in the Bahamas, and that thing was like super small, so it was cool to see. Like, it's just kind of a random stop. We're just kind of seeing different places. And then the final stop that we went to as well was this like almost like cigar bar area. I don't really know what this was, but it was cool to go inside. I'm just not really sure why we went there. But that was all the major stops. And then the major location as far as like the final stop before it was time to go was this marketplace. And so the marketplace was actually my favorite place to go. I would have been just content and happy if we just kind of went there and stayed there the entire time. At this marketplace, they had fresh food. I mean, they had bar crawls, they had the marina. Depending on the day of the week you go there, they could have performances here. And so it was a really cool site. And that was almost like our central place where the tram was at and also where the bus was at. Now, one last thing I almost forgot to mention is the beach that you can access from the marketplace. So we did take the tram, we drove to a beach, but we didn't actually get out. We just kind of drove there and drove back. But if you actually want to go to the beach and maybe get in the water or just kind of chill, there is a beach that's maybe about, I would say about maybe 8 to 10 minutes walk away from the marketplace. And so you walk over there, you can chill. Obviously, it's got a little beach stuff, so like restaurants, bars, things like that. Or if you just want to get in the water, it's there for you.
Especially the northern Bahamas, Grand Bahamas.
Okay, so let me give my final thoughts before I give you all my official rating. So again, this tour is nothing adrenaline about it. It's one of those easy riding tours where it's really just a narrated tour where you kind of just listen to someone speak and just kind of talk about the surroundings and things like that. It is good for people that want a relaxing tour. So say, for example, if you had a really rough night, if you just want something chill, this is definitely for you. Again, you gotta realize that there's not really much going on in Freeport, Bahamas. That's why if you're not necessarily at a resort, you're really not seeing much. And so that this kind of tour kind of reinforces that. And with that said, I would say maybe try it out. So this is a good way to see the city, but some people may be disappointed. The only reason why I say that is on my tour excursion, I did get to know quite a few of the people that were on there, and they all were kind of saying I was expecting more and it wasn't really the best. And so I just have to be honest with people. But again, if you want to see different sites, if you want to get a full narrated tour, if you want to have basically the relaxation of seeing the city without having to drive or rent a vehicle, have to pay for a taxi cab, things like that, I would honestly say this is your best bet. I hope this review was helpful. If so, definitely check out my 2 reviews of this cruise ship. This is the only cruise ship I've ever repeated, and I've been on 20 plus cruises, and so I definitely had a lot to say about it. I hope to see you soon. It's Mr. Bucket List. Peace out.